you're not loyal, at least probably not as much as you'd like to think. As nice guys, we often think we're loyal, and I've seen this time and time again in myself and the men that I work with. Will say something like, I'm loyal to a fault. In other words, they see themselves as sticking around long after everyone else has bailed. But all too often, this is not coming from a place of loyalty, it's coming from a place of fear. Today, I was talking with one of my clients who had just quit a job after only 1 week, and he described the situation as hellish. And normally, he said, he would have stuck it out. He's not one to give up easily, but he found there was a massive discrepancy between what was promised and what the job actually entailed. Still, he was struggling with the fact that he had never quit a job before and that he prided himself on being loyal to a fault. But this time, he felt like everything he'd been learning about masculinity and leadership and integrity pointed to quitting was the right thing to do. I told him I could relate. I said, one of the things that I often do is I think I'm being loyal, when in reality, I'm just being afraid. I said, I might be afraid to look bad, afraid to disappoint someone, afraid to make somebody angry. I'm afraid that I won't find something better than this. I'm afraid that something's wrong with me and that I can't handle it. I'm afraid that others are going to judge me and my decision. I'm afraid people will talk badly about me. And he nodded his head and he said he could totally relate. I said, what we do is we take these fears and we wrap them in the banner of loyalty, thinking that we're actually serving a higher purpose when in reality, we are being disloyal to the one that's most important, and that is ourselves. It's kind of nuts when you think about it. We suffer at a bad job, in a miserable marriage, or we continue to do things that don't serve us because we're afraid of what we think other people will think about us. We are afraid of someone else's thoughts. And what if they do judge us? Well, then probably they're not worth having in our lives to begin with. This reminded me of a post I recently did on my Instagram page. I said, if I don't respect someone, why do I spend so much time being bothered by their opinions? And why am I so bothered by what other people think? On the one hand, this is pure instinct, courtesy of our lizard brain. It knows that if we aren't part of a group, we're vulnerable to danger. So it creates an impulse that says, if they don't like you, you're going to get eaten by a saber-toothed tiger. And it's because we have this 50,000-year-old operating system that we still need today, but sometimes it just doesn't serve us. This fear can also be buried deep into our subconscious from childhood experiences. As children, we're egocentric. We believe that we're responsible for everything that happens around us. If I cry and mom doesn't come, or if she's angry, I feel responsible. As an adult, we have an unconscious program that says, I'm responsible for everyone's emotions and reactions. As a result, we change our behaviors to adapt to this limiting, internalized belief. But now as a man, I live as a man. If you're an adult, you're old enough to make your own rules, make your own decisions, and choose who you want to let into your life. You don't have to be loyal to someone who isn't bringing value into your life. So the question is, are you being loyal? Are you just afraid of what others might think about you if you were to leave? At the end of the day, the person we must be loyal to is ourselves. By loving ourselves, making our needs a priority, and setting boundaries, and letting go of any relationship that doesn't serve us. Thanks for checking in today. Remember, like, subscribe, and share this if you think somebody else might find this beneficial. In the meantime, live with integrity and love with a wild, open heart.